What's up, everyone? This is Gail Dudley with your news in motion. Today is Mimosa Friday. It is Mimosa Friday. So you're probably saying, where is she now? Well, the glare this morning was too much for like the outside. So I couldn't do the outside this morning. It was way too much. So I just had to move it around. Good morning, Pastor Alex. I just had to move it around. So we're still in the same place we were yesterday. We're in the Renaissance. But yeah, the glare was too much this morning. Good morning, Marion. Good morning, Philip. So we had to figure out another space. So on the onset, my man still gets the MVP. Good morning, Stephanie, for helping me figure out somewhat of a space. We'll be back to our regular space on Monday. Good morning, Adrian. Good morning. Good morning, Kim Kills. Good morning. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, everyone. So y'all just keep praying. Pray that the broadcast continues to pick up. Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. But here, let me say this on the front side. If it seems to freeze, stay with it because it'll come back on. But if it freezes so much, it still records so you can catch it. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Hester. Good morning, Diane Ladybug. You can catch it on the YouTube if it happens to freeze. Good morning, Kim Kills. You'll be able to catch it on YouTube, which I upload by 9 a.m. Good morning, Kenya. So hopefully, y'all, it won't freeze. But sometimes if it freezes, just give it a few moments and it pops back in. Good morning, Oscar. Good morning. So again, I'm still in the same place. We just couldn't do the window this morning because of the glare that was coming off because it's not really sunny outside and we don't know what it was. So we just found a new space in the hotel to make it work. So thank y'all for dealing with me and dealing with the glitches yesterday. I apologize that it was freezing. And I'm not sure if it's the hotel because the bars show all the way up or if it's Facebook. And I jumped on a couple of other lives on yesterday and theirs were freezing. So I don't know what it was. Good morning, Shirley. Good morning. So y'all, we have news. So let me get to the news. Good morning, Antoinette. Let me get to the news. Good morning, Julie. Good morning. Good morning, Brenda Random. And good morning, y'all. I love y'all. Y'all are really like, yeah, Kim, I just had to find a new background because the window wasn't working. But I will tell y'all this. Y'all got me trying to find a place that we could do it. But I was like, man, that means I got to get up probably by 3 a.m. to get to where I need to go to be able to record. But anyway, such is life. So again, y'all, if it freezes, just stick with it. It normally pops back in. If it freezes too much, remember it's uploaded onto YouTube by 9 a.m. Eastern where you could catch the whole thing. So hopefully it won't be a problem for you today. Good morning, Bill Palmer. So y'all, this is Mimosa Friday. And we have a lot of news. First up, we know that Ivanka Trump was deposed. She had to complete a deposition on Wednesday. Good morning, Latrice. She had to complete a deposition, and then she took to Twitter just talking about it as being a witch hunt. And she was just, I've never seen her so foul on Twitter in my life, which makes me ask the question, oh, what's going on there, sister? Because you're responding in a way that you have never responded before. So that's interesting. It's interesting that that Mary Trump, Donald Trump's niece, believes that in his mind he really thinks he won. He really believes he won. But Buttercup, no, you didn't. You didn't win. Good morning, Brian Costa. Y'all shocked and amazed, as Kim Carter would say. Sidney Powell urges boycott of Georgia's runoff. Sidney Powell, as y'all know, the former lawyer for the Trump campaign. Good morning, Damia. Told Georgia residents to boycott the Senate runoff on January the 5th. Sidney Powell, you're an attorney. What sense does that make, sister? Because if they boycott and stay home, your people lose. So I don't think she's thinking. I'm still shocked and amazed, as Dr. Kim Carter would say. The Washington Post is reporting a guy by the name of Wesley and a girl by the name of Courtney, good morning, Teresa, boarded their flight from San Francisco to Hawaii on Sunday. The couple knew they had already tested positive for COVID-19. They had their 4-year-old child, but they boarded the plane anyway. But when they landed in Maui, they were arrested. I'm thinking, they flew how long knowing that they were in a closed plane, and you know that you are tested positive for the coronavirus? Are you serious? See, that's how somebody's gonna get hurt. That's how somebody's gonna get hurt. So that's what they did. They did that, but they were arrested. Yes, they were arrested, and they're trying to figure out how to handle this. They're trying to figure out how selfish, how selfish. So that's what they did. For those of you who are just joining in, I'm still in the hotel. We just had to find a new space because the window was not working this morning. And if it happens to freeze, we heard some of you say it was freezing yesterday. If the recording happens to freeze, just stay with it. It normally pops back in. But if not, I got a lot of news. You can catch the whole video on YouTube by 9 a.m. But just stick with me. Stick with me, y'all. Keep talking to me. Just keep talking to me. We'll be back in our regular place on Monday. All right, y'all. It has been 2 years. Find their daggone parents. I'm about sick of this one. Y'all shouldn't have been separating them, putting them in cages in the first place. It has been 2 years, and they're no close to finding these children's parents than they were 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago. And I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm asking all of you to call your representatives and say, find these children's parents. This is ridiculous. Furthermore, where are they? Who has them? We hear that the detention center or whatever has been shut down. So where are they? Where are these children? It's time for you to bring these mothers and fathers back with these children. This is absolutely ridiculous. I'm also worried about human trafficking of these children. I'm worried about slavery of these children. I'm really ticked off about what's happening with these children. Find these children's parents immediately. This is ridiculous. And if you ask me, somebody knows where they are. Somebody has this information, and I'm about sick of it. So it's time for us to write a representative saying, what are you doing about this? We hired you. We voted you in these offices. And even if I did not vote for you in the office, I'm still your constituent, and you still have a responsibility to uphold the laws. You put your hand on that Bible, you confessed a certain word, and now you need to do your job. It's time for you to do your job, and do it before you go back home. Find these parents for these children. That's my rant for the day. All right, raise your voice, sister. Raise your voice. Y'all, Huffington Post is reporting Crystal Mason. Y'all may remember her. Crystal Mason, a black woman who was in prison in Texas for casting a provisional ballot in 2016 while she was ineligible to vote. She is now appealing her conviction to overturn her conviction. Now, here's a quote. This is one of the most important voting right cases in modern Texas history, said Andre, who's a legal director for the American Civil Liberties Union of Texas, in a press release. The filing submitted on this past Monday to the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals cites as precedents the case of Tom DeLay. Listen, a former high-level Texas congressman whose conviction for campaign finance violations was overturned in court in 2013. In 2018, a Texas judge sentenced Mason to 5 years in prison for voting illegally after she submitted a provisional ballot in 2016 while on supervised release for previous tax fraud conviction. Texas law prohibits people with felony convictions from voting until they have completed their sentence. During the trial, Mason says she wasn't aware that she was ineligible to vote at the time she cast her ballot, and the probation official testified that he never told her. So the probation officer said, I never told her. But the judge still put her in jail, Now get this. Although Mason's provisional ballot was never counted. They never even counted her ballot. They never counted it, but they still put her in jail. Good morning, Deborah. All right, y'all, stimulus. The Hill is reporting there's a little bit of movement. There's a little bit of movement of $908 billion with the $B bill that was drafted by a bipartisan group of lawmakers. So they're still talking about it, but Mitch McConnell's saying, no, I ain't even gonna look at it. So seriously, people, seriously, pass the bill. Pass the bill. People are hurting out here. Pass that bill. All right, y'all, and get this. They only have until next Friday to pass it, because guess where they going? Home. They're going home for the holidays. Yeah. So we have until next Friday to get this bill passed. Again, call your representatives. All right. If I'm going to do anything to get out of a house. That's what people are saying. For the first time in over 23 years, people are going to the tree farm to find them a Christmas tree. To find them a Demia, you want to fight Mitch McConnell. All right, y'all, people are like, take me to the tree farm. They're saying people are driving miles away to go to a tree farm just to be outside for as long as they can to get out of the house with the kids. So that's what's happening. Bloomberg is reporting that Christmas tree farms around the country are reporting high demand, unusually high for early in the season at that, as families look for excuses to get out the house and do something outdoors and festive. And it's not just the farms. They're looking everywhere. They're even asking people if they're using their tree in their backyard, and if not, can they cut it down? Because people are like, give me something different. Y'all, get this though. Get this. I remember when Christmas trees on a tree farm was like $5, $7, $10. Y'all, they're going for $81. I'm trying to still understand, where y'all finding this money? Where are you finding this money? Speaking of money, y'all, $85 million. $85 million. Man, LeBron James got it going on. $85 million, y'all. The Los Angeles Lakers have locked up LeBron James. I don't know if I like that terminology, but ESPN is reporting locked up James Brown. He's not here. LeBron James with a 2-year, $85 million contract extension. The deal will take James through 2022 to 2023 season, giving him 20 seasons in the NBA. James will be 39 when the contract is up, and he has his eye on a house that looks white that's in DC for 2024. I would vote for him if he had the right people, but I think he's smart enough to make this work. I would vote for him. It depends. I would have to vote for Kamala first. All right, y'all, since everybody home, well, most people, CNET is reporting that there'll be another streaming service coming to town. Discovery will launch Discovery Plus in January for $5 per month. A new platform will debut with more content than any of its rivals. Now, y'all, if y'all want to talk about a business, that's a business we need to get into. That's a business that we need to get into. I'm going to knock you out. Mama said knock you out. Hey, everybody just having fun, girl. Y'all, the service will include content from Discovery Channel, as well as A&E, Lifetime, and History. Verizon will give wireless customers up to a year free, depending upon the plan. All right, check this out. I have Verizon, so I'm going to have to see if I can get this free if my plan fits with what they do with free. But y'all, again, this service will include content from the Discovery Channel, as well as A&E, Lifetime, and History. Y'all, Lifetime, that if you don't have a healthy mindset or a healthy relationship, you don't need to be watching Lifetime. All right, y'all, super spreader alert. Super spreader alert. Y'all, the Hill is reporting that Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has invited 900 people to an indoor event at the State Department, despite the notice issued by the department last week that instructed employees to change non-mission critical events to virtual gatherings. He's like, I'm not doing that. My wife and I have already planned this. We have 900 people. They're coming. Don't worry about it. We got this under control. Super spreader. I'm just loving these people who are so, evangelicals, and they're not even following what the word says. Talk about disobedience. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Go on with your 900 super spreader. Go on, see what happens. See what happens. All right, y'all. The mayor of Austin, Texas, get this. His name is Steve Adler. He said on November the 9th in a Facebook video, now is no time to relax to Austinites. He says, stay home. Stay home. apparently he couldn't. Y'all know, listen, people have video cameras now. People have them. Don't say something and go and do something because you're going to get caught. Get this, y'all. It emerged Wednesday that he made the video during a beach vacation in Cabo San Lucas, flying there in a private jet after hosting his daughter's wedding in Texas, where rules only had a gathering of 10. But he hosted his daughter's wedding in Texas with more than 10 people after filming his video. Then he goes to Cabo San Lucas, films another video, and he out having, I guess if he's in Cabo, it don't mean anything to him. Okay, they really don't care, do they? All right, y'all, here's on a serious note, on Mimosa Friday. Let me just take a drink, because I just got so, yep, even in the hotel, you can get mimosas. I told y'all. That's good. Millions face evictions, y'all. Millions face, they didn't read this. Honey, I don't think they read in any scripture. He was not thinking of at all, or he was just didn't care. I think he just didn't care, Latrice. All right, y'all, millions are facing eviction. Vox is reporting millions of Americans face eviction in a completely predictable and entirely preventable crisis as the CDC moratorium is set to expire on New Year's Eve. Millions of people can find themselves out on the curb on New Year's Eve. Millions of people can find themselves on the streets going into 2021. Millions of people may find themselves, not just adults, y'all, think about children on the streets on New Year's Eve. After such a horrific year, they're going into 2021 without a roof over their heads or food to eat. Millions, y'all, millions. Kimberly was, a lady by the name of Kimberly in New Jersey who was facing eviction, was interviewed by Vox, said, and here's a quote, and this quote really had me in tears. She said, and I hope I can get through it now. She goes, "You've asked us not to gather on Thanksgiving, and yet it's somehow okay to put us on the streets." I'll read her quote again. "You asked us not to gather on Thanksgiving, and yet it's somehow okay to put us on the streets." Yeah, Erica, my heart's heavy on this too. Now, y'all remember I shared yesterday that Thanksgiving Day online sales reportedly hit a record of $5.1 billion, while Americans spent $10.8 billion, with a B, both of those are with a B, in e-commerce for Cyber Monday, the biggest U.S. online shopping day ever. So I don't know if people are selfish, if they're not thinking, or what. Do you know what $10.8 billion could do for people? You know, I don't know why, and I've asked God this, God, why didn't you give me that kind of cash flow? Because I believe I would be making sure people have what they need. I believe your heart is your heart, so you would do that no matter what you have. And it's amazing to me that those of us with a little bit of money, that we even have a little bit of pocket change, we're willing to help people. And by the way, those of you who have been constantly giving $29 for us to give to those who are food insecure, we have now reached over $800. So thank you for doing that. I want to make sure that I'm very transparent and there's some accountability. So I do need one or two people in this community to come alongside me to make sure we're doing our checks and balance correctly. I don't want to be the only one. I want to be completely transparent. So if one or two or three of you want to just say, hey, I'll be on this committee with you, this News in Motion team, please let me know so that we can know what's happening and where it's going and keep a track of it. I have a track already, but I don't want to be the only one. So if there's anyone interested, let me know. So as you all know, when I'm talking about this food insecurity and now these millions who are going to be evicted, y'all know we're in this hotel because of an issue we had at our home. And this is like a suite. This is the Renaissance off of Polaris Parkway. Good morning, Patricia. My husband and I talked early this morning, and he said, could you do this for a couple of years? And I was like, first I was like this, would you? I said, and I went, yeah, but he goes, let's talk about it. He goes, look at all these evictions. He goes, you were crying yesterday about how people were evicted. He said, imagine if we just downsized to this spot, to not at a hotel, but in a apartment, like a loft. He said, and it's like half of mortgage or half of what we pay on rent, half. He said, and then earmark the other half to pay somebody else's rent. I said, talking like that, I could do that. He said, I'm just starting to look at things. He said, as we are downsizing and packing and getting rid of things, he goes, and we're reading all these articles. He says, the real question, Gail, is what are we willing to do? He said, yes, one thing, getting extra groceries at the grocery store. He said, but imagine if a community of people were being intentional, saying, how can we do this differently? He said, because at this point, the government's not helping. They're not signing bills. What can we do as a community of believers, as people who are going to begin thinking differently? He says, what can we do to change that? What would that look like? And I said, talking like that, I think I could really do that. And I said, man. And so, it's interesting, those of us, and I'm going to be just completely transparent with y'all. And don't hate me for saying this. The first thing out of my mouth when I said I could do that, then I went to, well, where would I record? God, that was selfish. I actually had to swallow that. And he said, we would have to find somebody else. He said, there has to be a church out there. And then I said this, I'm being completely honest with y'all. I said, man, I get up at 4:30 now. That means I have to get up at 3. Then my husband said to me, and those of you who know him, like John Gore and a few other of you who know him really, you thought the same thing, Sherry? Yeah, girl, listen. He said, and my husband will cut me, and I'll cut him. He says, listen to you. Look where you went. He said, a sacrifice is that you're willing to give it regardless. And realizing that I got to figure out something else to do. He said, it's not taken away from you because we're going to do something differently if we decide to do that. He goes, look at it as we're adding to. And we're adding to not for our benefit, we're adding to help somebody else. He said, Gail, he goes, what I see right now unfolding is that it's going to be up to us to help those who are out here suffering. He said, because they're about to go home, back to their $1 million homes, one of them, with food, with maid servants, with nannies, and with everything else. He goes, there's nothing wrong with that. But they're pretty much sending the message, the heck with you, I got mine. He said, as believers, we need to change that narrative to say, I will decrease so that God can increase through someone else. Yeah, having the heart of a shepherd. And I said, you know what? Whatever we have to do. And I don't know what that looks like. But it's like whatever we have to do to change that. One of our viewers who views on YouTube, Kenny Stanley hasn't been on Facebook for a while. Y'all used to see him on here because he's now back taking a master's program and he's really want to focusing on his studies. But he sent me a text message from a couple of days ago and he said, Gail, this is the community that I believe believers need to be following. He said, as you're talking about food insecurity, he said, this is really checking on your neighbor in an authentic way and being intentional every day. It's looking at that person, it's checking on that person. And when I read this information about these evictions and had the conversation with my husband this morning, I'm like, what do we need to do? What does that look like? What do we need to do? And again, not operational. All right, y'all, the coronavirus numbers 14,535,196 confirmed cases. Deaths, 282,829 deaths. Recovered, 8,561,427 have recovered. And again, let's celebrate that recovery. My sister alerted me yesterday. She said, turn on CBS, and I had missed it. So, of course, Google is your friend. You can Google it because it was out there, it was on Twitter, it was on everywhere. Y'all know Nora O'Donnell, and I'm laughing, but it's true. Nora O'Donnell of CBS News last night said, and I quote, she goes, "We are in COVID hell." She said, as America, we are in COVID hell. And she goes, there's nobody helping us. She kept saying, we are in COVID hell. And I believe her. And I love what President-elect Joe Biden had to say. He said, I will implement 100 days of wearing our mask. He goes, 100 days, that's all I'm asking you. If everyone would wear their mask for 100 days, we won't have to close anything. We will all be doing this together. And then he goes, Fauci's coming over. Yay for Fauci. Now listen here, listen here, listen here. I like y'all. I like Bush. I like Clinton. And I love Obama. And I think what y'all doing is cool with rolling up your sleeve and going on media and having y'all's own little party and getting inoculated. Okay, you do that. But I ain't there yet. Yeah, they're reporting they're going to volunteer to get their COVID-19 vaccines on camera to promote public confidence in the vaccine safety once the USDA authorizes one. The 3 most recent former presidents hope an awareness campaign to promote confidence in its safety and effectiveness would be a powerful message as American public health officials try to convince the public to take a vaccine. Y'all go on, do what you want to do. Y'all, in other news, Zoom was the most downloaded free app of the year, with TikTok and Disney Plus following closely behind. Lace them up. Real Simple reports that, new research from a compiled data of tens of thousands of people published in the British Journal of Medicine, say that real fast, suggests that moderate exercise of 30 to 40 minutes, take out my president, I'm gonna be done. Me too, Demia. 30 to 40 minutes a day is all you need to counteract the effects of sitting most days. So, yep, they say it's like taking a brisk walk. Just take a brisk walk. Take a brisk walk every day for 30 minutes. That's all you got to do. They said you don't have to do all the rest of it. Adrian, you and that daggone TikTok. Y'all, Adrian loves her some TikTok. She trying hard to get me there, but I ain't going. Kim Kills, you have to put a fine with not wearing your mask or nothing in charge. Nothing will change. Put a fine with it. I got it. I'm gonna wear the mask, but I'm not getting that. That's gonna be a few years before I get that. Y'all, for the win. Seriously, y'all, for the win. Hospitals are inundated. And for the win today, although I know doctors are doing their part, but y'all, these nurses are kicking butts. Okay, hear me. These nurses are doing their thing. So for the win, all nurses, assistants, anybody that come in contact or work with a nurse, you get the win. You get the win. AP, that's the Associated Press, is reporting that nurses are wanted everywhere because they are working some crazy hours. They are away from their families in quarantine. They're away from their children. They are begging people. They are pulling out all stops to continue working on the front lines. Methodist Hospital in Minneapolis will place 25 interns for 1 to 2 months to work with COVID-19 patients. Iowa is allowing temporary emergency licenses for new nurses who have met the state's educational requirements but haven't yet taken the state licensing exam. They are begging for nurses. My sister is saying yes. Then they are being worn. They are being worn down. So y'all, we need to, first of all, for the win. And here's something I want to ask us to do. I know we're doing the one family, and I'm trying not to ask y'all to do so much, but we're really a family. Get you some Christmas cards or whatever. And remember, Deborah Johnson makes Christmas cards. Get you some Christmas cards and just put on the front to a nurse and put the hospital, whatever, on the envelope. Y'all, send Christmas cards, giving them some encouragement, giving them something. You don't need a name. Just say to the nursing staff, do something to uplift them. Send in some flowers to the nursing staff. If you're able to do that, drop off, send Panera, send whatever bread company or Dunkin' Donuts or something. Go to the grocery store, get a vegetable tray and send it to a local hospital saying, here, eat something as you continue to serve the people in the front line. I don't know what that looks like for you, but y'all do something. Get some stamps, throw it on some, write a note. I thank you. I care about you. I'm praying for you. Put a prayer on some stationery and send it to them, y'all. Which leads me to my inspirational message. My inspirational message today is be a friend. Be a friend. And if I can change it just a little bit, be an authentic friend. Be an authentic friend. I won't call the person out, but someone who knew what I was going through last week, dealing with my daughter, getting all, because there's all these supplements. There's all these supplements now with this COVID, if you have tested positive and you're not feeling well. An authentic friend, didn't ask for anything in return. She says, hey, here, I look up, she cashed at me, y'all, not $5. She cashed at me $200 and said, here, give this to baby girl, let her know whatever and then listen, with everything we were having to pay for, having COVID is not cheap. With everything we had to pay for, that grocery bill and those vitamins, those supplements, that stuff costs money. And if you don't have it like that, you don't have that readily available. This person had me in tears. That's an authentic friend. She ain't asked no questions. She ain't asked near question. She ain't waiting for a thank you, although she got one. She was like, here, what can I do? I had other friends. What do you need? Do we need to roll down to Atlanta? Do we need to get in a car? What do you need? That's an authentic friend. Y'all and I know we all have friends, and we have friends that we are one way more so than another. I had friends who were checking on her and all, like, Gail, we got this. You go ahead and go to sleep. We got this. We'll check on her. We'll do this. Someone very dear to me was like, I ain't waiting until tomorrow. He immediately texted her immediately. Those who are close to her know her as Dink, D-I-N-K, because she was a preemie. She was small. People love her. They were like checking on her. They were following up. Okay, this is happening. My sister, my brother, just people were just there. That's authentic. That's saying, forget me for a moment. I'm going to check on somebody else. And for all of you who were asking and who even gave me my space when I didn't tell y'all who it was, because it's her story to tell, not mine. But when I didn't tell y'all who it was, y'all still gave me my space. Y'all weren't calling me saying, who was it? Who was it? Who was it? Or who is it? Y'all didn't do that. So thank you. Those are real friends. Those are real friends. And I want to read this out of the message out of Proverbs 18:24. Friends come and friends go, but a true friend sticks by you like family. A true friend sticks by you like family. That means no matter what's going on with you, no matter what's happening in your life, a true friend will stick by you. Like, y'all know family. Family. You can get with family. You may not be like, you may have fallen out with family. Like, I ain't talking to you. I ain't talking to you. Then all of a sudden, something can happen. That family member who said they had cut you off is the first one up there ready to fight. That's a friend. That's a real friend. That's an authentic friend. It's saying, I don't care. It's even picking up the phone, knowing that somebody's going through something, and they're saying nothing on the phone. You can be on the phone for 30 minutes, and there's no conversation. There are no words. They're saying, I'm just here with you. That's it. You don't have to talk. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to do anything. Then there's times that a friend will say, how you doing? You go, I'm fine. They go, you lying? That's a real friend. To be able to say, okay, you're lying, but I'm going to let you have that one for a moment. And when you're ready to talk, we can talk. That's a friend. A real friend is, hey, you know what? I know something's not right now, but guess what? I'm here. You can call me at any time. And if you call at 3 o'clock, they answer. They're not like, shoot, girl, I'm asleep, or shoot, guy, I'm asleep. They're answering. Okay, let's talk. Do you need me to meet you somewhere? Well, what are we doing? A true friend, even in COVID, social distancing. Now, I know we can't hug, but I'm getting ready to roll up on you. I'm going to sit in my car. You can sit on the steps. We're going to have some sort of conversation. I want to see you. I want to see you in your face. A true friend, a true person. When we talk about love your neighbor as yourself, you're my neighbor. There's nothing you can do about it. I love you. You may not like me right now. You may not like what I'm doing. That's cool, but I still love you. Y'all, it's time for us to be a friend. It's time for us to be a friend. You know that passage, we could be entertaining angels unaware? You don't know who you're coming in contact with. You don't know. You don't know. But a true friend, y'all, a true friend will lift you up. A true friend. My husband is my husband, but my husband is my friend. My husband is my husband. My husband is my friend. My siblings are my siblings, but I can really tell you this. All 4 of them are my friends. I can call them up and tell them anything. And then I know it's no judgment. I have friends that I can call up and tell them anything, and I know there's no judgment. No judgment. But it comes to this, and I'm done. I'm done. It comes to this. Remove all of these masks that you may be wearing, that you may have lost count or lost knowing which mask you have on. Just remove the mask and come forward. Lay aside the weight, y'all, and come forward. Release yourself from the bondage, from the hurt and the pain, and come forward. Release it. Our ancestors were messed up because everything had to stay in the house. You couldn't go and tell anybody. Mental health is real, y'all. You got to release some stuff. Release that stuff off of your shoulders, y'all. Release it. Stop carrying the weight of trying to be somebody that you are not, that I am not. Y'all, that's a heavy burden to carry. It makes you lean over. It makes you hunch back. Stand up, breathe, remove the mask, and be free. Be free. All right, y'all, I'm done. Remember your one family. Remember your one family. Hopefully you are showering them. You are loving them. You are helping them. No, I'm not done. Even with the person that you know have an addiction, whatever addiction that could be. It could be addiction to lying, addiction to gossiping, addiction to stealing, addiction to drugs, addiction to sex, addiction. Don't put them off. Have a conversation. Let them know it's okay, y'all. Let them know it's okay. Y'all, give them the word. Give them your love. Give them your truth. Y'all, there's millions of people who are about to be evicted on New Year's Eve. Some of those people could have been your close friend from high school or college, or even a coworker that you connected with. And somewhere you fell apart. It's time to mend that back together. Be a friend. Say, you know what? I forgive you. Pray that you forgive me. And don't have the conversation about what happened. Just let it go. Be free. Be free. Be free. All right, I'm done. I am Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. Remember your one family. Keep lavishing them. Love them. Pray for them. Send them things if you want to, whatever that looks like for you. Remember the nurses, remember the hospitals, send cards, send edible fruit, send whatever you can send them if you're able to do that. Don't go in it alone. Find a few people to go with you to send something even larger, whatever that looks like. Y'all have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Practice social distancing. Wash your hands. Wear your mask, y'all. Stay home. Just stay home. Just stay home, y'all. Just stay home. We'll get through this. We will get through this. All right, y'all. Until Monday at 7:25 a.m., hopefully back at my place. I will see you then. Peace out. Love you all. Love you.